Hello, today I'm going to be doing my video quiz over chapters. We had to do them over chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to start with chapter 4. So the first question is, what were the key idea or ideas that stood out to you in this chapter? In this chapter, it was how important your location is. I think it's good for both you and the audience for where your location is. It influences your feedback, attendance, and the speaker's strategies. Number 2 was, what did you learn from this chapter that you did not know before reading it? I did not know how important it is to have a good audience. It makes you more comfortable with performing your speech, giving your speech, etc. Number 3 was, why are these ideas important to public speaking? Again, it can influence the audience attendance, and it can help you remain calm during your speech, like how you give your speech, not make you so nervous, and all that. Number 4 was, how can this be used in other areas of your personal life and professional life? This is needed in a lot of businesses. It helps you think ahead of where you're going to have meetings or lunch or simple things like that, and it depends on your job of where you would have your meetings. So chapter 5, what was the key ideas or ideas that stood out to you in this chapter? This one is organizing your body and your conclusion. It can keep you organized, and it also can keep your audience on track of what you're talking about, because if you don't know what you're talking about, your audience isn't going to know what you're talking about, and they're going to be all over the place. And it can help you elaborate more on what your subject your subject is. My bad, I'm sorry. Question 2 was, what did you learn from this chapter that you did not know before reading it? I did not know how similar an introduction and conclusion is, and your conclusion also needs to have an attention grabber like your introduction does. That was really interesting to me. Number 3 is, why are these ideas important to public speaking? Because having an introduction and a conclusion keeps your speech flowing. If you're missing either your introduction or your conclusion, it can make your speech feel like it's missing something. And it also can make you more prepared and more ready for your speech. Number 4 was, how can this be used in other areas of your personal life? A lot of sales jobs uses this to catch people's attention. So like if I walk up to you and I say something that grabs your attention, you're more likely to listen to what I have to say or stuff like that. Okay, now we're going to move to chapter 6. What are the key ideas or ideas that stood out to you? This was creating an outline. So having first ideas will help you a lot in what you're going to organize. This will help organize on what you're going to talk about in your speech. So you have set key points, what you're going to talk about, so it's not all jammed together and like all out of place or all out of whack. Number 2, what did I learn that I did not know before reading it? Outlines are allowed to be like your own guide. So like people aren't going to know like what you have on your piece of paper that you're holding in your hand or the note cards that you may have. People aren't going to know what's in those. So like you can, like your outline's basically like your guide. Like nobody knows what's you really right or what's wrong because you're the one who's talking. You're the one that only knows. Number 3 was, why is this important to public speaking? It helps your audience understand the topic. It helps with the points that you are trying to give. Sorry, I said that wrong. It helps you try to get the points that you're trying to say get across from the audience. Number 4 was, how can this be used in your personal life? This can help you prep a lot of like talks that you may have, speeches you may have, because like this isn't going to be the only time that you speak in front of an audience or in front of 5 people that you know. It may be in front of like a crowd, and you have to be prepared in giving your speech. All right, the last chapter 7. What was the key ideas or ideas that stood out to you? supporting details throughout your speech. It helps you understand the background information, and it gives the audience a better understanding of what you may be talking about during your speech. 2, what did you learn in this chapter that you did not know before reading it? It isn't how important it is of evaluating your own research. So people are going to be more attentive to you if you know what you're talking about. So say you give a false statement or something, people aren't going to believe on what you're talking about anymore because you already gave a false statement. So you want to make sure you evaluate your research. Number 3 is, why are these ideas important to public speaking? Because you want your audience to gain and learn information from your speeches. You don't want them to just leave and not know anything about what you just talked about. Number 4 was, how this can just be used in your personal life. You always need to back up your details. And it also, again, gives people a better understanding of what you're talking about. So if you're talking about cars in a meeting and you say that they, I don't know, something that cars don't do, people aren't going to believe like anything that you have to say about cars anymore because they already know that you're not telling the truth. Okay, so number 5 was, read the lecture material and supplement information for the week. Discuss the key ideas and concepts. So this week we had to learn about visual aids. So we had to learn how they help with your speech, when to incorporate them in your speech, and what would be a good thing for your speech. Like if I'm talking about soda, for instance, and a good visual aid would be like a Coke bottle and like explaining the Coke, like reading all the information on the back. That would be a good visual aid. And we also learned about PowerPoints, like different tips for PowerPoints, like how they're good, how they're bad, what to put in them, what not to put them. Don't put too much information because you don't want to like drown it out and seem like you're just talking on the PowerPoint. You want to be able to elaborate. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.